Good morning, everyone. My name is Dorcas Aji Kugene, and I want to welcome you to our Longrich product expose. As you know, we have our expose every Wednesday, right? Now, today, I have beautiful guests in the house that will be, joining me to share awesome information with us. But before we do that, I'd like us to dive into what we have for us today. Now, today, we're going to be talking about cancer. Okay, if you noticed, if you've been following us all, through the month, we've been talking about cancer and understanding how it affects you and how you can prevent it. Last week, 2 weeks ago, we talked about breast cancer, and this week we want to also handle an aspect that can benefit the men in the house, right? So all the women in the house, please pay attention. I know we're attending to the men in the house, but please, the ladies in the house, I believe you all have husbands, you have brothers, you have uncles, and it's important that you know about their health and how you can help them, okay? So I'm going to do a quick run through so that those of us that were not here 2 weeks ago can benefit from what I have to share. So please follow me quickly. Now, if you know that you're not able to catch up with the pace, you can quickly screen grab your screen and study the slides later on at your free time. Now, what is cancer? Cancer is a genetic disease caused by changes to the gene that control the way our cells function, okay? Especially the way a cell responds to growth, death, and division, right? Now, when a cell becomes cancerous, it becomes stubborn, it becomes unruly, okay? It begins to behave abnormal. And this is as a result of genetic mutation, right? Now, what are the things that are in place to handle cancer? We have scientists doing a lot of studying, to ensure that they help prevent cancer. And they've brought a lot of things that we can do, brought in dieting, lifestyle changing, changes. They've brought in, different kind of chemo prevention programs that can help people manage cancer. Now, as I said earlier on, cancer is as a result of mutation or a change to the genetic material contained in the cells. Now, as you all know, the nucleus is the carrier of the genetic material of a person or an animal or any entity that is living. Okay, and inside the nucleus, we have what we call chromosomes, and these chromosomes contain DNA strands that have genes, okay, gene codings on them. Now, the moment the gene coding is affected, there is a change. Now, what are the genes contained in this in the DNA strand? Now, genes are segments of DNA, okay, that contain information about a certain trait. Now, these genes translate and they transcribe proteins. Through these processes, they make proteins, and these proteins produce the physical changes that you see, such as phenotypes. Now, what is a phenotype? A phenotype is the appearance. So for example, what is my phenotypic ratio when it comes to complexion? I'm fair in complexion. Someone else has, a protein that has the visible appearance of the dark or chocolate appearance. So everybody has their own specific, description when it comes to what is contained in their genes. And don't forget that our gene pool is made up of the contribution of our parents, right? The ones you got from your mom and the one you got from your dad. Now I'm trying not to go in deep so that I can carry those people that are not very familiar with this term along, right? Now, so a particular person could have blue eye coloration, while another person will have brown eyes. And this is as a result of their genetic makeup. Now, moving on, we have different types of genes that can cause cancer, okay? In other words, there are certain genes that are affected that can lead to cancer. So when they are infected, they can actually lead to cancer, right? And those genes include the proto-oncogenes, we have tumor suppressor genes, we have DNA repair genes. Now, all these genes have their functions in the body. They handle cell division, cell growth. Now, when a particular cell mutates or is altered, instead of it carrying out the job it ought to carry out, we find out that that gene begins to do something else. So when a gene is supposed to trigger, when there is a command that a particular cell is to die, and that particular cell is already mutated, okay, instead of the cell dying, you find out that an old cell begins to multiply. An old cell begins to behave as if it's not supposed to, behave the way it's not supposed to. So if the command for a cell to die is given and the cell refuses to die, what happens? It begins to stretch out to other cells and it begins to, affect them. Now, if it's a DNA repair problem, that particular cell will not repair itself. Instead of repairing itself, it will just, keep moving on, affecting other cells, collecting resources from other cells, and moving on. Now, this is what happens with normal cell division, and this will happen with a malignant cell division. In a normal cell division, you can find out that the normal tumor suppressor gene is in its normal state, and it's ensuring that a proper cell cycle takes place. And at the end of the day, normal cells are formed. But when there's a mutation in the tumor suppressor gene, you find out that the cell cycle does not function the way it ought to function. It produces what? Cancer cells. Now, moving on, you can see what happens when this kind of thing happens. You find out that normal cells, the gene, the codes remain intact, while the cancer cells have, mutated cells. You can see the splicing here. You can see something is wrong here. Everything is wrong here. And you find out that the wrong expression takes place. Now, when we say the wrong expression, you find something like this. So imagine the surface. Let's imagine this as the skin surface or the surface of a cell. Now, normal cells will look this way, but the moment tumor cells start forming or cancer cells start forming, you find out that there's a kind of unruliness that takes place in the cell. And this is what happens. You find out that everything is not working out well in that particular cell. So how do healthy cells become cancerous? I've tried, I just gave us a quick overview. So let's look at it. Now, the human body has trillions of cells, and cancer can start anywhere. Now, cancers are named according to their point of, challenge. So if it's in the lung, we call it lung cancer. If it's in the skin, it's called skin cancer. If it's in the ovaries, it's called ovarian cancer. If it's in the cervix, it's called cervical cancer. If it's in the heart or in other places, there are different names according to their locations, okay? And most of the time, this activity impairs the immune system, okay? So when the immune system is supposed to act in order to bring about decorum in the body system, because these cells are a little bit trickish and evasive, you find out that the immune system is not able to act. And most times, these cancer cells come in, take over some immune cells and buy them over, and the immune system begins to work in favor of the cancer cells. And that's why you find out that when a person has cancer, it's very difficult to handle. And thank God for upcoming research and all that. Most people have been able to survive some types of cancers, especially when they handle them at a very early point. Okay, so many, and as I said earlier, many cancer cells can form solid tumors. Okay, we also have cancers that are not solid, in the sense of cancer of the blood, like leukemia and some other types. Okay, now there are different types of cancers. As I said earlier, we have over 100 types based on the area of effect. Now, this is a pictorial representation of how the cancer cell will work. So you can see this cancer cell here, right? You can see the tentacles, moving on to normal cells. And you can see normal cells here, lending a hand to the cancer cell. So here, the cancer cell is like a bully, commanding, the normal cells to, function at its beck and call. So if you're saying, okay, I want to clear out waste products, come and do the clearing out. The cells closest to it will begin to carry out its bidding. If it wants nutrients, it will begin to collect, the nutritional requirements of those cells. And before long, these normal cells will become cancerous. And through this channel, the cancer cells can move quickly. Now, what are the characteristics of cancer cells? Now, they can grow in the absence of signals. They ignore, cell division and cell death, commands. They, tell blood vessels to give them, the required nutrients that they need. They command cells to do all sorts of things. In short, they are in charge of the body system of their host. Now, we have different types, common types of cancer. Today, we're going to be focusing on the men. Okay, so we're going to talk about common cancers that affect men. We have cancer of the lungs, we have cancer of the liver, cancer, prostate cancer, cancer of the colon, and skin cancer. Okay, but today we're going to be laying more emphasis on prostate cancer. Okay, and today I have on the call with me a special guest call Mr. Albert Afagbon to help me further open your minds to the dealings of prostate cancer and how you can, protect yourself from it. Okay, so Mr. Albert, if you're on this call, I would love you to come on camera and take it from here.
Thank you, Coach Dorcas, for the way you have handled this part. We appreciate you, and I say good morning to everyone on call. It is going to be a very short one. If you see the screen, you will see the image on the screen. Usually, when I was a little bit younger, whenever I get prostate, I usually associate it with something sinister, something bad. And usually what comes to mind is prostate cancer. But today, I later learned in my life that prostate itself is not bad. It's something that God has given to every man alive. That it is a part of the male sex organ, a very key one for that matter, that has to do very important work in our system. When you look at the image by the left-hand side, you see that the prostate gland is just in front of the rectum and a little below the bladder, and it's wrapped around the ureter. And what it does is that it has a key function here. What the prostate does is that it produces fluid, seminal fluid, which mixes with the semen. And what it does is protect the semen. It carries the semen to where it ought to be, to the woman's egg, and also it nourishes the semen. This is a very key important thing a role it plays. When a man and the partner is having sexual intercourse, that small walnut-sized gland, which is called the prostate, plays a very important role. And what role does it play? When the man ejaculates from the seminal vesicle, it forces the semen into the ureter, down for easy transportation into the woman's system. This role will not be able to happen if the prostate gland is not there. And what happens is that sometimes the prostate gland could be affected by certain bacteria. And when it does get affected, it becomes inflamed. That does not really mean that it's now cancerous. No, it doesn't mean that it's cancerous, because actually there are 3 different things that can affect the prostate gland. One is that it could be enlarged. The second is that it can have a prostatitis, which is inflammation of the prostate, and the next is that it can have a prostate cancer. When these 3 actions are in play, the prostate gland becomes weakened. But the worst among them is prostate cancer, which we are not discussing immediately. But what we are focusing today is the prostatitis, which is the inflammation of the prostate. And when this inflammation happens, there are 4 reasons why it happens. There could be acute prostatitis. There could be, there are other 3 acute prostatitis, and we have the inflammation of the pelvis and the asymptomatic one. The 4 of them have different causes, but we're not going to go into detail. But what you should know is that when these 4 infections come to play, it weakens or makes the prostate gland not to perform the role it's supposed to play. Before this image, we saw the image of a healthy prostate. The image of the healthy prostate, the ureter is very, very okay. It allows for the passage of urine and semen. But like the one we see here now, you see that there's inflammation or enlargement of the prostate. If you look at the ureter, it has closed a bit. The space here is closed, so it does not allow urine to pass the way it should pass. Now that does it allow ejaculation to go on the way it should go on. What happens is that when this thing happens, or it goes to the higher stage, a man becomes infertile, or is not able to give birth or to make a woman pregnant because of this. So it is very important that we take care of this. When you look at these two now, the one on the left side is the normal prostate, while the one on the right hand side is the enlarged prostate. The prostate enlargement, which is called the benign prostatic hyperplasia, it occurs when this part of on the right hand side, you see the gland are swollen, and what it does is that it has affected the space of the bladder. The bladder does not have space again to perform the roles it's supposed to perform. What happens is that in this instance, the man can no longer hold his urine. So what happens when he goes to the toilet or to the convenience to wee? Sometimes you discover that after that, he begins to have some droppings. These droppings are not something you just, normally when you see an adult wee-weeing, right by the roadside, you see him fling his private part, the penis, probably to remove the remains of the urine. But this cannot help the situation here, because in the ureter, the bending of the ureter, there are some droplets or some remains of the urine that does not go out because the prostate is enlarged and the passage has been blocked by the enlargement. So it cannot empty whatever is in the bladder. So what happens is that sometimes in the night also, you see the man waking up several times. It is not because he drank or took some fluid before he sleep. No, it is because the bladder can no longer hold the content it's supposed to hold. So he's motivated or moved to go to the toilet frequently, and this disturbs his sleep. And sometimes too, he begins to pass out urine unintentionally. That is what they call it. Sometimes it's called dribbling. It causes dribbling. And that dribbling, what happens is that he wets himself a little bit, not intentionally. Sometimes he doesn't have control over his urine again. So it is caused by this enlargement of the prostate. It is very delicate and very dangerous for us to allow our prostate to get to this point without check. According to statistics, it is stated that over 90% of men in their lifetime will be affected by this. This is benign because it is not to the point where it begins to be cancerous. What happens is that in these images you see here, this is normal prostate. The second one is the inflamed prostate, and the last one is the enlarged prostate gland. In the last one, the enlarged prostate gland, if you look at the ureter, there is no space for urine to come down. When this happens, the urine is collected in the bladder, and the man cannot pass out the whole of the things he has there. He's disturbed at night. He wakes up frequently. He cannot even empty it. No matter how many times he swings that thing, for the sake of I don't think there are children here. No matter how long he swings his penis, the urine can never come out. So what happens is that he's now motivated or moved to wet his clot when he did not want to. He doesn't have control over the way he urinates again. It is a very dangerous situation because, like I said before, it could lead to one is that it could lead to infertility, and it could lead to the worst aspect, which we are going to talk about next time. It can bring a cancer. Like Coach has said earlier, when the prostate begins to, the cells in the prostate begin to act as they are not supposed to, they begin to swell up, begin to grow bigger than they're supposed to be, close the ureter. Look at the seminal vesicle on the right-hand side. That is where the semen or the fluid is supposed to be produced, so that during ejaculation, it is forced down into the ureter, then down to the woman's system. It is the prostate gland that does this work. But when the prostate gland is affected, it cannot do this work any longer. It becomes a situation where the man begins to look for who is responsible or who is not responsible. And the unfortunate thing is that in our country or in the Black race, we have the higher incidence of prostate cancer. But the problem is that most of us do not go for a check as we're supposed to, because like the benign aspect of this prostate problem, it may be asymptomatic, so you may not be suffering anything initially, but you need to go to the check to the hospital to carry out some checks for it to be able to be discovered, to be determined that you really are suffering this kind of problem. So it is necessary that each man, every one of us who is here on this call should at least every year carry out one test to determine whether our PSA is within the limit it should be. So if it is within the limit it should be, we should also continue to watch. Even if it is not, it gives us opportunity to know that something bad has started and we have to be watchful so that we can know what to do or when to take the necessary precaution or necessary care for our own system. I would have loved to go more, but the time we have is very, very short. Coach, I would like to hand it over to you to continue from here.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Albert. You did justice. I don't think I would have been able to explain it as awesomely as you did. And I believe all the men in the house are giving you an applause for doing an excellent job. So guys, please show some love to Mr. Albert. He has done an excellent job. But without further ado, I would like to quickly continue so that we can, quickly take, everything that we have, on this call. So Mr. Albert, thank you very much. Please remain on this call so that in case you have questions moving forward, you can handle them. Thank you. Now, Mr. Albert has told us about prostatitis, prostate enlargement, and a whole lot. And I want to take it from here so that we can look at the cancer, aspect of things. Now, as I said earlier on, and as he also reiterated, he said that when cancer is involved, the prostate gland is not able to function the way it ought to function. And when it's not able to function the way it ought to function, what happens? A lot of things will begin to go wrong. You find out that there's a lot of discomfort, and with current technology and all that, there's hope actually, because you see, 95% of people that handle this case early have the chance of living up to at least 5 years. It's not like in the case of breast cancer where it comes up and, breast cancer is very notorious. But when it comes to prostate cancer, there is, enough, research, there's enough, care that can be given to still prolong the life of the man. And in most cases, when the man involved is advanced in age, it could okay, let's just watch and see how it goes. You understand? When there are cases of pains like lower back ache, pelvic thigh aches, and all that, necessary precautions are taken to ensure that those, issues are handled. But when it now gets into the bloodstream or the lymphatic system, and the bones and other parts are now affected, then serious treatment is needed to ensure that we don't get into trouble. Now, moving on, some people also end up having erectile dysfunction as a result of this, and they have to actually pass through chemotherapy, surgery, radio treatments, and other type of treatments to keep them alive. Now, we have 4 stages of cancer, of prostate cancer, okay? Now, in the first stage, I want you to just look at the screen right now. You see the cancer cell like a bean-shaped, structure on the prostate gland. You see it very tiny there. You can see there. Just follow my cursor. You can see there. That's stage 1. Now, at this particular stage, the cancer cell is very small, and it's still within the prostate gland. So it can be arrested quickly with treatments and other things. Now at stage 2, now this is stage 2, we have stage 2A and B. Now at stage 2, it becomes bigger. It's no more the bean-shaped size anymore. It's now it's growing bigger. And in most cases, it could be at one lobe, or if you look at stage 2, at stage 2B, you can see that it's on both sides of the lobes, okay? Now at this particular point, pressure will be on the urethra. Okay, a lot of pressure will be on the urethra because of this growth. And at stage 3, the cancer cells begin to spread to other organs, such as the bone. You start seeing it at different points, and most of the time, people end up having multiple issues like the bone issues and the prostate issue. So it's important that it is arrested at the early stage. So the moment that inflammation takes place, that discomfort comes in, it's important to check, find out what's going on in your body, get to know what's happening. And most times these things may not, at the early stage, you might not see symptoms, but probably you might just feel slight discomfort, probably during urination or so. But when you feel that discomfort, it's important to check. And the moment you are above, or when you get to that point where you are above 40, it's important that you put in your schedule to go for, the doctor's appointment, go for checkups, so that in case something like that is there, you're able to arrest it on time. Now, for people that drive, like people that have driving jobs, or people that have administrative jobs where you get to sit down for a long time, it's important that you put it in your schedule, because people that do a lot of sitting and air and other things are not able to get into, that region. There's a high risk factor when it comes to that. Okay, so it's important that when you're above 40, you do the necessary checkup. Now, these are some symptoms that a person can experience when this happens: weak urine flow, fecal inconsistency, painful ejaculation, lower back pain, hip and chest pain, then numbness of the feet. Okay, so those things happen. Now, we have several risk factors that could affect a person. The age of a person is one of the major risk factors. Okay, oh, sorry, there's a mistake there. Okay, good. Now, age is one thing. From 50 and above, you begin to, look out for it. Now, for people that are from the Black race, okay, the people from the Black, the Blacks, especially those in the United States and Africans, we have high, risk factors when it comes to this. The probability of ending up having, prostate cancer is very high. Then when you have the family history where somebody in the family has had this particular challenge, it could lead to, you need to actually look into it and ensure that you go for checkups to prevent that occurrence. Then obesity, for people that are, on the obese side, it's important that they also look into it, because most times it could be very aggressive, and those people that have bad eating habits, people that aren't looking into their feeding and other things, it's important that they also look in, because your diet helps to, maintain your body system and to ensure that your immune system is functioning well. Now, when a person comes, has cancer, it's important that the person visits the doctor to, know the way forward. Now, there are different ways that prostate cancer can be detected. Okay, we have what we call digital rectal examination, where the doctor will have to physically examine the patient by, checking through the rectum, how the prostate gland is doing. Okay, so if the doctor feels that there is a lump, a noodle, or there's any form of tenderness, then your attention will be brought to it. We also have other methods that you can research on by yourself. Right now, moving on, we have different treatments that have been made available to ensure that prostate cancer is handled. We have radiation therapy, chemotherapy, hormone therapy, active surveillance, clinical trials, and all that. Now, all these are just geared towards ensuring that people do not suffer the effects of cancer. But I will always say that when you're getting into something, it's important for you to know the effects and the challenges that come up with it. So it's important that you ask your doctor to explain the nitty-gritties, because in our pursuit in removing cancer from the body system, most of the time normal cells are affected by the cancer cells, right? And in the pursuit of eradicating them, good cells could be eradicated, and this could affect the immune system of the person further. So treatment on its own can also affect the immune system, while the cancer itself can also affect the immune system. But it's important that you get to know what's happening so that you can handle it. Now, I want to bring to us another solution that you can actually give to yourself. For example, if you have high risk factors and there's a probability that you could end up with cancer, it's important that you get logged on to a company that produces organic products that can keep your body cancer-free. Now, this company is no other company than the Longrich Bioscience Company. Now, Longrich has over 2,000 products that can take care of these challenges. Now, Longrich has research and development centers that are highly into this providing solution. So we know that we are in safe hands. Now, 2 weeks ago, we talked exhaustively about Cordyceps militaris. Cordyceps militaris is one epic product that can handle cancer issues. Now, when I talk about handling cancer issues, I'm not talking about it when it's at the advanced stage, okay? Because most times, most people wait until they're in stage 3, stage 4 before, using supplements. And as I always say, supplements need time to function. And when it comes to cancer, most times people don't have that luxury of time. So it's important that when you're at stage 1 or at the when you think you're in the risk factor zone, that you should visit, this particular supplement. Also have berry oil that helps to take care of your organs. Now, when your organs are properly taken care of, they will not malfunction. If your organs are functioning well, you will not have challenges. We have our long-range calcium that helps to take care of your bones. It helps to take care of our sex organs. It helps to prevent our sex organs from, having mutations and all that. So if you get this product, trust me, you're going to enjoy it. We have our NutriV Pink, we have our NutriV Blue. This NutriV CM collection has over 40 fruits and vegetables that can give you the nutritional requirements that will keep your body healthy and ensure that your body does not malfunction. We also have our Longrich Pie Cup that can help to prevent cancer from thriving. Don't forget that cancer cannot thrive in an alkaline environment. Now, finally, we have our Longrich Super Be Clean sanitary napkin. Now, this panty liner is a unisex panty liner that has magnetic energy, anion, far infrared that can help to reduce the effect of cancerous cells. Now, it has strong anti-tumor action. It has strong, efficacy when it comes to relieving pains from, prostate problems. So for people that have that challenge, when you use the Longrich panty liner, even as a man, when you place it on your abdomen, it can actually help to keep your prostate gland, in its normal state without any form of inflammation and enlargement. Now, don't forget that anytime you get products on the Longrich platform, you will always earn what we call, the point value or product value. Now, each product has, the point value that gives you an equivalent of, a financial benefit, okay? Now, at this particular point, I want to let go and invite a special guest in the house. And this person is no other person than our 3SD, Mr. Emmanuel Eduru. So I know he's on this call, and please, if you're on this call, please, I want you to serenade him because it's not easy getting the #1 man in the CIG family on call. So if you're in the chat, please, let's get excited and let's welcome our 3SD. 3SD, sir, over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Coach Dorcas, and my leader, Albert Afabo. I appreciate everyone. Thank you for the lectures, and I believe that every man in this room today will go home with a message that is very important for our well-being. Even for the women, the young ladies, you can also take this information to your brothers, your fathers, and all that. Thank you once more for all the efforts you put in to ensure people get things for free, get information for free. I tell you, these days, it is not easy. But that aside, we have to look at the compensation plan. Today, we are not going to treat the usual compensation plan. We are going to go deeper into the compensation plan. I am going to express something I got from Dr. ID because I don't have the time to start doing a lot of research, but I saw that she had done extensive research on the compensation plan, and I felt we should have uniform compensation plan. So, can you see the screen? Are you seeing the screen?
Yes, I see.
Okay. Okay, we will be looking at some terminologies for those people who don't know, but I will be very fast in some areas and I will not complete this today. Next week, I will take the balance of it because it's quite lengthy, but there is need for us to have the right information. First and foremost, every person in this call, every CIG member, every LONGRICHN should have this. Of course, I have already posted the soft copy for in the chat room. Some people have it already. Every member should have this. It is called Policies and Procedures for Long-Range Distributors. Very, very important. It is key for you to be able to know the policies and procedures of the company. Go and get your copy. It is 500 naira. If you sign up somebody, ensure you get it alongside for the person. Don't make your business look like an ordinary petty trader. This is not a petty trader business. It's a serious business. There is policies and procedures. So don't say, nobody told me when I joined. Now I'm telling you, and make sure you tell others. Thank you. Now, what does PV mean? Products, value. All purchases are measured by PV, not currency. All purchases are measured by PVs, not currency. Now, we are in this business because of the PVs, nothing more. All commissions, incentives are measured by PVs, which equals sales volume. PV is the long-range global language. PVs determines entry levels and rank progressions. Now, we talk about placements. These are some terminologies. Where you place a new registration, maximum of 3 legs, that is what LONGRICHN does. If you have to go beyond these 3 persons, then that is what we call spillover. You place them. After you have sponsored your first 3, you can only place, you cannot sponsor again. Now, you can sponsor as many as you want. But I used to say, why many sponsoring? Why sponsoring many when you can actually harmonize your team to be orderly so that everybody benefits from leadership bonus? You sponsor as many as you want if you want that, but I don't encourage it. You earn bonuses on paid on sponsorship. That is why to sponsor is important. You see these figures here. The people you sponsor, you still earn leadership bonus from them. Now, placement generations. It is a 3 by 3. Your first generation is 3, second generation is 9, third generation is 27, and so on and so forth. It is limited, it is countless because that is infinity. That is how you end up getting thousands of people in your team. Meanwhile, you only brought how many? 3. Now, if you are truly serious with your business, when you bring 3 persons in 1 month, the following month, these 3 persons should be able to bring their own 3, which means you have 9 in the second month. The third month, everybody, these 9 persons should be able to bring their 3, and there is 27 persons there. In the fourth month, these same 27 persons gets their 3, and you have 81 persons, and it is still 3 by 3, everybody doing what they are supposed to do. And if you, the leader, you, the sponsor, you, the upline, can be able to follow through the line, you can now see why most times we tell people, please talk to your team members. Please attend Zoom meeting. Please do this. Please share this information. Please take up this task. Please come up with feedback. Why leaders go all out to train, inform, communicate, and ensure that the team members are doing the right thing is for you to be able to build organically this in this format. Now, when you hear the word legs, 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 you can only have maximum of 3 legs. And that is leg 1, which is like A leg, leg 2, B leg, leg 3, your C leg. Now, it is these 3 major legs that you work with to get your bonuses and incentives. Now, how to check your back office? What are the things in the back office? Online portal with absolute transparency. The Long-Reach portal is very, very transparent. If something is wrong, it is through the portal you will know. If everything is going fine, it is through the portal you will also know. The portal gives you all information on the business, new and existing members. Even though you are in Lagos and you sign up somebody in the US, it is through your portal you will be able to know if the stockist has been able to do that. Now we have ranking and progression. There is PVs required for each rank. Diamond 1, 720 PVs, cumulatively, not you alone. You can do it alone or you can cumulatively get this Diamond 1. Likewise, Diamond 2. But when it gets to Diamond 3, you will need 2 Diamond 2 under you to become a Diamond 3. In Diamond 4, you need 2 Diamond 3 under you with 15,000 PVs. While Diamond 5, you need to accumulate, not just you alone, you and the entire team, 75,000 PVs, including upgrade order, retail order, repeat order. All the PVs put together will give you the required team PVs for the different ranks. Like as I said, I will just be brushing through some of them, while some I will do emphasis on them. Rank progression shows growth progression and can be from any generation. Now, you don't necessarily need to wait for the people directly under you to get to the next rank. Now, you may have in your 4th generation, you are in Diamond 6, and the people that made you to get to Diamond 6, the 2 Diamond 5, they may not be directly under you. They may be far, far way down in maybe under your 4th, 5th, 6th generations, and they must be on separate legs. When you are having 2 Diamond 5 to move to 6 or 2 Diamond 4 to move to 5, you must have them each on separate legs. All PVs count, irrespective of type of order. I've said that before. Then, again, we look at requirements for rank progression is also determined by the group stroke team PVs. Now, there are some incentives that are attached to what? To the rank progression. In all fairness, while entry level is focused on cash bonuses, performance especially, the rank progression is more or less focused on the incentives, global incentives and worldwide incentives. Now, from Diamond 4, the company actually recognizes you because you begin to share in the 1% global sales, which is travel incentives. At Diamond 6, car incentives, another 1%, which makes it 2%. Then at Diamond 7, 0.5%, you participate in the sharing. This is on monthly basis. So at that point, you are actually earning 2.5% from the incentives. If you are a VIP, it becomes 3.5%. If you are a Diamond 7, you will be sharing on a monthly basis. And don't forget, 1.0 shares is equivalent to what? It's equivalent to $100 when you want to collect it. Then for Star Director, you have 3 Diamond 6 to become a Star Director. Star Director 1, Star Director 2, you need 3 Diamond 7. Now, for you to become a Star Director, 1.5 million PVs is what you need to accumulate. Now, this brings me to a little calculation. When people see Star Director as something that is very far, it is because you lack focus. It is because you don't want to do the work. To become a star director in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years is very doable. But how are you going to go about it? Let's look at star director 1. You want to become a star director 1. If that is truly what you want to achieve and it's your goal, and you make it the desired target, how many years do you want to achieve that? Give yourself 2 years or give yourself 1 year. Now, let's look at this. Sometimes you always look at, oh, people are not joining my business, so growth is difficult. You can use another method. If you are a good seller of products, if you sell 500,000 toothpaste, 500,000 toothpaste in 1 year, a toothpaste gives you 3.5 PVs. That leaves you with what? With 1,750,000 PVs. 500,000 toothpaste will give you 1,750,000 PVs. Now, this is above a star director. So as you are selling, you are doing the building yourself. It's all about either you want to earn what I keep saying, what you are good at. Please run with the business like that. Your talent may be based on sales. Your talent may be very good in, sponsoring people into the business. So it is advisable you look for your area of strength. Is it in selling or in sponsoring people into the business so that you can begin to run? Anyone is a win-win. It's all about earning. You may sell one toothpaste. You say, okay, you draw your chart. And okay, I will be pushing this name. I will be pushing this name. I will be pushing this name. You sell, you push. You sell, you push. You sell, you push. You sell, you push. 3 legs. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Before you know it, you are moving there. You move the legs to diamond 2, you move them to diamond 3, move them to diamond 4. Because you are selling very well, you don't need to bother about team building because you don't have that strength, you don't have that talent, you don't have that time, you don't have that skill, and you cannot work with a team because of where you find yourself. So this is just a way out for people who feel without referrals, you can, if you are a good salesman, you can build a team, a community of people. You can even put people's name there. Bless people with this business and see what happens next. You will see people following your business. You see people following you. So that is for star director 1. And of course, star director 2 and 3 and 4. To become a star director 2, you need 3,750,000 PVs. To become a 3-star director, you need a minimum of 9 million PVs plus 3 1-star director under you. Now, let's go to star director 4. Of course, you need 3-star director 2 under you on each individual leg. Star director 5, you need 3-star director 3 under you in their respective legs. Now, we are still on rank progression. Where to check in back office? Membership placement tree performance, accumulated upgrade performance, upgrade order plus repeat order. The secret to faster rank advancement, take note, building more diamond tools, getting more D tools, 30 PV maintenance order and repeats stroke retail order. This is the cross of the matter that led to this. And this 30 PV maintenance order is actually the most trending issue right now in Long-Reach Nigeria, if not Long-Reach Africa. Create a culture of brand switch. Don't buy products without PVs, organic growth. Types of orders. We have first purchase. First purchase is the first order you did when, the first upgrade order you did when you activated a new code. The first order you did, so take note, your first purchase must be upgrade order. And you don't earn on your first purchase. This is related to entry level. Now, upgrade orders, subsequent orders you upgrade that particular code if the code is not a VIP. Now we have repeat order. Repeat orders are orders you made, you taking money from the e-wallet to pay for it. Orders, they are retail orders you make. Repeat order must be done from the individual's back office portal, not from the stockist portal. Repeat order is done from your own personal portal, not from the stockist portal. Then again, the money you use in paying is directly in your e-wallet, so you don't pay cash or bring in teller. The commissions that are paid on repeat order is once whatever is above 30 PV. 30 PV exact, you don't earn on it, but from 31 PV and above, you will earn on those extra PVs on top of 30. And it is between 21% to 45%. Take note, you don't earn on the 30 PVs, you earn on the extras on the 30 PVs. Retail order. It is same as repeat order, but you pay cash into the bank or a LONGRICHN account in the bank, or not from your e-wallet, and take the teller to the stockist. Maintenance order. This is 30 PV per cycle. Now, this maintenance order is what you do once in what? Once in a month, which is a business cycle in LONGRICHN called monthly. Now, if you don't do maintenance order in a month, you are going to lose benefits like your incentives if you are a Diamond 4 and above. You will lose your leadership bonus, and you also lose your, what is it called? Your retail or repeat order bonus. Now, the company is just saying, if you are in this business, you need to at least maintain your code. That is, maintain your membership by making a purchase of 30 PVs, retail order. So if you are not doing it at all, you don't like doing it, you don't like earning all those money, it's not a problem. But for you to maintain your membership, you must do it at least once a year. Otherwise, your code will be revoked. It will be suspended from earning bonuses. And when you look at it, there is no network marketing company in the whole world that allow people not to buy, but earn bonuses year in, year out, or allow people to dump their business and go out elsewhere to do whatever they want and come back after 1 or 2 years and start doing the business again, meeting the PVs they left behind still there. Dear friends, there is no network marketing in the world that does that. So let us give kudos to our brand for taking up this boldness and reminding us that we cannot continue to have things the way it is going. Let's be serious for once with our business. Now, this is how the table for the 30 PV looks like. If you truly want to enjoy the wealth of LONGRICHN, this is where the wealth of the company is. Cycle, number of new people, total number of people, new maintenance order. This we have circulated times with that number, but I want you to pay attention to something. Now, when you do your 30 PVs, you as a person don't earn. You don't earn anything on your own, but you earn 4.5% of every 30 PV done under you. You earn 4.5% of every retail order that is done under you, but you will not earn but your own gives you access to the other people's own. And look at what you get in US dollars and in Naira when this number of people do their 30 PV. Imagine if everybody do 30 PV up to your 10th generation, you will be seeing about 35 million Naira. Somebody says, Longrich is not okay. Longrich is not enough. But have you taken time to study, to look at what this company can give you? And if you know that, why don't you work accordingly to get what you are supposed to get? You are here for your health. You are here for financial freedom. Indeed, you can actually get financial freedom from this company. Bonus legs and sharing legs. For performance bonus payment only. Bonus legs and sharing legs is actually meant for performance bonus and performance bonus only. Now, sharing leg is the leg with the highest cumulative PVs from your upgrade legs alone, from upgrade transactions. I'm sorry. Sharing leg is the highest cumulative PV from inception to the week of bonus calculation. And it has to be upgrade orders alone. Why the bonus leg is the other two legs. As a result of this, they are not constant. They change from time to time, depending on the activities of the various legs that you have. How to identify sharing and bonus legs. Log into back office, go to membership, go to placement tree performance. When the page opens, click check. Your code and those of your three legs will show. Scroll to the column, the accumulated, oh, my time is up. The accumulated upgrade order in performance placement tree. At the top is your group PV from upgrade orders. The other three are your three legs. So when you want to check, I'm going to stop here because of questions. When you want to check, you are looking at the screen with me. You come to this point where you have accumulated upgrade order performance in placement tree. This is the one you check. This is your bonus leg because you can see that the PVs here is small. Then sharing leg has the biggest PVs. Bonus leg has two. Second bonus leg has the smallest PV also. Now, go back to your portal after this meeting and see for yourself which is exactly your bonus leg for performance bonus. I will stop here today. Take note, don't go to the extreme where you have the green arrow to be looking for your sharing leg. Your sharing leg may differ from what is stated here. Take note of that. I will want to stop here because of question, because in fact I overshot my time. I was supposed to stop at 10 minutes to 9. So I think this is enough for me for today. We will going to do part 2, the continuation next week, Wednesday. So sorry for taking your time because doctors are now back at Farbon. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, 3SD. Thank you, Mr. Albert. Thank you, everyone that took our time to join the meeting today. We appreciate you greatly. We appreciate you. So we're going to come back to your space next week, Wednesday. Please ensure to be on time so that we can exhaust everything we have to share with you. From here is thank you and good morning. Mr. Albert.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate.
Yeah.
It's not easy coming for meetings like this, but it's really appreciated. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So bye, everyone. Bye.